a land acknowledgement as soon as I share my screen. All right. We wish to acknowledge that the University of Virginia sits on the homeland of the Monacan Nation, whose members remain a vital part of the local community, and that UVA's original structures were built and maintained by enslaved laborers. We further wish to acknowledge the history of violence, displacement, and racism that led to UVA's establishment and maintenance. It is important for us as the university community to reflect and address the complicated past and present of our university during our time here as students. And a special thanks to the Native American Student Union at UVA and the Multicultural Student Services for helping write this acknowledgement. I'll also be dropping a link in the chat that allows you to check which land you currently occupy.
Okay, thank you, Booker. Sorry about that. Welcome for real this time to our third meeting of this administration. My name is Abel Liu. I use he, him, and his pronouns, and I'm the president of Student Council for the next year. We've been in office for roughly 2.5 weeks at this point, and we've already gotten quite a bit done and have a lot on deck. About an hour ago, I was on the phone with Steve Farmer and Caro Campos from Undoc UVA. We were addressing the issue of the enrollment fee for students at the university, especially undocumented students who might not be able to afford the $400 deposit. Student Financial Services is waiving that fee for all students who cannot afford it, including undocumented students, and they will be making that information more prominent on their website probably tomorrow. But in case you do hear anything from incoming first years, make sure that they know there is a process for them to have their fees waived, especially if they are undocumented. The University Network of Care Alternative Crisis Intervention Program is coming along. Today, Ryan, Gabby, and I had a chance to meet with representatives from BSA, Undoc UVA, and Plumas to discuss our memorandum of understanding, or essentially guidelines for the pilot program. That is about 95% complete at this point. And we've also recovered some important data from UPD on statistics regarding nonviolent crisis interventions like suicidal subjects or disorderly interventions. Finally, I've been working with the COVID Action Now campaign to influence the university's higher education relief funding. As you may know, the university created a block grant system for students who are on federal work study or the Pell Grant. We are currently advocating for them to expand this to students who are also on Access UVA, as well as creating a program in the immediate term to help cover any travel expenses as students return home for the summer. If you have any pressing concerns, you know how to reach me, Slack, email, or text. I'll drop my phone number in the chat, but I am very proud of the work we've been able to do over the last 2 weeks, and I'm excited for the year to come.
Hello, my name is Cece, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Vice President for Administration. So my first thing is that starting today, we are keeping track of attendance, and the way that we are going to do this online is by everyone filling out this form who's here and putting in a code word. So the code word for today is going to be hammer. I also want to welcome our new general members who are here. And also, this is a reminder to please accept your invitations to Slack. If you have not gotten one, please reach out to your director or branch head. And you should be in the general body channel and your respective committee channels. Also, if on Slack, you could edit your profile and your name to say like your committee, or not your name, but to your position to say your committee and what your role is. That would be super helpful for me. This week in admin, I'm finishing up my one-on-ones with admin directors to set our agendas for this summer. And tomorrow, April and I are meeting with another student, Spencer Goldberg, and Bo Greenwood from the VPSA office to discuss ways we can financially compensate low-income students for their administrative labor at UVA. All budget requests should be in at this time. The budget timeline has been slightly extended and will not be entertained by the rep body today, as was stated in the previous timeline. Instead, it will be entertained for the first time next week. Jaden, Abel, and I will be finishing the budget this week. Again, it'll be introduced at our next rep body, and then we'll have a special session on Wednesday to hopefully pass the budget. And Gabby will give you more specifics of that at your rep meeting for the reps. Finally, if any directors have any free time in the next 2 weeks, I know it's probably not a lot of you, but if you do, and you're interested in joining me on a selection committee to choose finalists for a scholarship for UVA students, please Slack message me and I can provide you more details on that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan. I'm the Vice President for Organizations. I use he, him, his pronouns. Just a few quick updates. Right now we're in the process of finishing up our audits for this semester. I will have the final org bill next week for the representative body to vote on. That will contain the remaining applicants looking to get CIO status. I've just been, meeting with my directors as well, and we're gonna start setting our initiatives for the summer. And then the last thing is we are releasing another application for the Equity and Incentives Committee. This committee is largely going to be focused on implementing some of the bigger org branch changes, like funding designations and democratizing the SAF guidelines. So I'll put that link in the chat if anyone is interested, or if they'd like to, pass it along and spread the word. That'd be appreciated. And that's pretty much all I have.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gabby Hernandez. I'm the chair of the representative body. And just the one update I have for you all is tonight we will be having our first representative body meeting immediately following GenBod. So reps, I have already sent you guys the link in the Slack. So just join right after GenBod. So that's it for me.
Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Alcorn. I use he, him pronouns. I'm the chief of cabinet, and my job is to implement the policy agenda for this administration. A few updates from my team. We had workshops the last 2 weeks on anti-co-opting and on lobbying, and the deadline for accepted members to join their respective agencies is passed. So each agency now has its full summer team. Very exciting. Also, I'll be working to publish in the policy agenda, like a master list in the near future in coordination with Abel and the cabinet. So everyone, both in student council and outside of it, has the opportunity to see exactly what we're going to be working on. That's all for me.
Hi everyone, my name is Maheen Sanchez. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the Chief of Support and Access Services, overseeing a really incredible team of directors providing our student benefit programs here at Student Council. Speaking of those directors, currently they're settling in. We're doing one-on-ones right now, making sure they have everything they need for the year and preparing for the upcoming year. I'm looking forward for all of you to hear from them very soon and their reports in future meetings. Regarding our services in particular, right now we're seeking interest regarding our Airbus service, which is a low-cost transportation to Dulles Airport during final season, and our international student summer storage, offering first-year international students free summer storage beneath the Charlottesville area for the summer. I'll post both forms in the chat, and they will also be available in the newsletter coming out. If interested in using either service, or if you know anyone that could use these services, please share the links with them. And if they can respond ASAP, they'll let our director, Tony, for both services know how much demand we'll need for both. Awesome, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Macy. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm Director of University Relations. I don't have many updates, just last call for newsletter submissions from directors. Those are due tonight at midnight. And then also for directors and representatives, don't forget to Slack me a headshot, please. And thank you to all who have submitted already.
I guess I can go. Sorry. Hey, everyone. My name is Booker Johnson. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I am the Director of Coalition Engagement, formerly known as the Director of Outreach. And as of today, I do not have any updates for you. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, everybody. We'll now move into leadership reports, starting with the cabinet.
Yeah, all right. We have a couple of leadership reports today, starting with academic affairs. And if Casey, if you raise your hand, we can unmute you. Cool.
Hi, my name is Casey Gottlieb. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Director of Academic Affairs. I have one quick update. So the Academic Affairs Agency is currently holding our annual iClicker drive. We're very excited for this initiative in order to help increase access of educational resources to low-income students. So if you are graduating this year, please consider donating your iClicker. We have a lockbox set up on the first floor of Newcomb by the entrance of the PAC. So you can just go and drop your iClicker off there. And then once you do, there is a QR code for you to scan to be entered into a raffle for some Starbucks and Chipotle gift cards. So please consider donating. It would be really great. And we really appreciate all of your support with this initiative. So thanks.
Thanks, Casey. It's a great initiative all around. And next we have safety and wellness.
Hi, everyone. My name is Holly Sims. I use she, her pronouns. I'm one of the co-directors of Safety and Wellness, and I have a quick update on a project that we did partnering with the Indian Student Association to provide wellness bags to students during finals. These bags include mental health resources, wellness guides, and stress relieving items. If you would like to sign up to help organize these kits and put them together with the former director of Swellness, Emily Leventhal, we will be meeting at Saturday or on Saturday from 1 to 3 at Now Hall. I'm going to DM a sign up link to CC, who will hopefully be able to share it with everybody else as well. You don't have to be able to come the whole time, even just a little bit of time would be helpful, but that's all I've got for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. And I know that link blew up when we sent it out to each class, so we can use all the help we can get to organize that. That's all from the cabinet.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. All right, now we'll go for the support and access services.
Yeah, if we can open the floor for any of our SAS directors to give an update.
Hello, I'm the Rachel Heitman, she, her pronouns. I am the director of UVA Mutual Aid. Just a quick update. We distributed nearly $10,000 in aid this month. And we're preparing for our final round of aid distributions to kind of close out the semester, help with travel, home costs, and a variety of other costs that students might be facing as the semester winds down. If you haven't told your friends about it, please tell your friends to donate to mutual aid. We're about $300 from our 5,000 goal for our next round of aid distribution. And also, of course, if you know anyone in need, please do refer them to UVA Mutual Aid. Other than that, we're preparing for some exciting new projects that will begin in the fall and continue the mission of mutual aid.
Awesome. Thank you, Rachel. And SAS or SAS as a whole. All right. Ryan, are there any updates from the organizations branch?
Not tonight.
Okay, perfect. CC, any from admin? All right, in that case, we'll move to representative reports. Gabby, do you know if any reps have any reports, or do you want to open the floor?
Yeah, I just wanted to open the floor. So reps, if you have any updates that you wanted to give on any initiatives that you're working on, just raise your hand and we'll call on you. Okay, I think we're good.
No worries. All right, fantastic, everybody. As the semester goes on, I am excited to hear more updates, but we have only been in office for 2 weeks, and I know we're doing a lot of good work already, which is great. We would ordinarily move into public comment, but we do not have any public comments on the table today, so we'll move right into legislative session.
Okay, we will now enter legislative session. I will begin by calling roll. So I'll call your name and just raise your hand. Violet Cadet. Okay, Nina Santana. Thank you. Lillian Rojas. Thank you. Okay, I see you, Violet. Thank you. Laura Arif. Thank you. Tyler Bush. Thank you. Noah Strike. Thank you. Tashara Robertson. Thank you. Christian Ephraim. Thank you. Ella Tinch. Thank you. Adrian Mommeril. Thank you. Jay Moody. Thank you. Rithka Kormath-Ond. Okay. Sarah Kirk. Thank you. Joshua Franklin. Thank you. Rand Perry. Thank you. Alex Sheng. Jason Evans. Thank you. Isa Fortuno. Thank you. Elizabeth Cruz. Raphael Movsesian. Thank you. Okay. That the roll's been called. I will now entertain the minutes from the previous session. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns about the minutes from last week? Okay. Seeing none, I would look favorably upon a motion to vote on last week's minutes. Jason?
Motion to vote.
Adrian? Adrian?
Second.
Okay. Are there all those in favor, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. Please put your hands down. Is there anyone who's opposed? Just please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no objections, the minutes pass. I will now entertain, oh, I'm so sorry. I would look favorably upon a motion to vote to take SB 21-34 off the table. Ella?
Motion to take the bill off the table.
Jay?
Second.
Are there any objections? To object, just please click your red X button. Okay. If there are no objections, the motion carries. SB 21-34 is moved off the table, and I will entertain Able to speak on this legislation.
All right, thank you, Gabby. This piece of legislation changes Director of Outreach to Director of Coalition Engagement in terms of its title. The goal is, again, really just to reflect the type of organization we would like to be, as well as the type of work that our Director of Coalition Engagement will be doing over the next year. I will yield the rest of my time to Cece in case she has anything to add.
I think you nailed it, Abel. Thank you. I just want to second what you said.
Are there any comments, questions, or concerns on this bill? Adrian?
Motion to vote.
Ella? Ella?
Second.
Okay, we will now vote on this bill. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Oh. Okay, thank you. Please put your hands down. All those opposed, please raise your hands. All those abstaining, please raise your hands. Okay, thank you. SB 21-34 passes. Okay, I will now read the vote count from the current session. SB 21-34 passes with 17 yeas. Correction, so sorry, 18 yeas, 0 nays and 0 abstentions. And then we will now exit legislative session.
Thank you, Gabby. All right. I am just gonna make sure everyone knows that next week's meeting will be a bit longer with our budget. We'll have a budget session, and then we'll also have a couple of resolutions up. So, you know, be ready to stay a little longer than 7 p.m. next week. In the meantime, I'll open the floor to community concerns. Again, this is generally meant for general members, directors, or members of the general student body to raise concerns for the rep body. But reps, if you do have any concerns that you would like to, voice publicly, this is the time. I have a running list of concerns. One being the digital recontextualization issue, the second being quarantine meal delivery, and the third being the suspension of the Google Maps feature on our UVA accounts. That's my concern, but I can't tell you, how often I run into trouble with that functionality being gone. All right, so any community concerns? Holly.
I don't recall if this has been brought up before or not, but I do think there's still some issue with first years getting transportation to their vaccines or their vaccine appointments. At least I had a resident who ran into that problem recently and had to pay for an Uber. And I'm sure that there are several people who cannot do that. So.
Thank you. I've noted that. I would recommend that you reach out to Rachel Heitman from UVA Mutual Aid and Ella Tinch. I know that they were looking at potential solutions to that, and Student Council is definitely open to charting some sort of service. Obviously, the reservation function associated with the vaccines makes it a little tough, but if we're able to figure something out, we're definitely happy to facilitate some sort of service. Adrian?
Hi, I just wanted to bring up something that actually I came across. Somebody posted about how, I guess, with the tuition being frozen, at least for the upcoming year, there still seems to be a differential for College of Arts and Science third years in comparison to the rest of the college. I was just curious if we could determine more information for that, or if you already knew anything about it already.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an article to send you all, but in 2019, the Board of Visitors approved an upper division increase, so a tuition increase specifically for upperclassmen. At UVA, the increase was $2,700 for third and fourth years in the College of Arts and Sciences and the School of Engineering. That increase has started to phase in this year, only for the class of 2023, but next year it will apply to the class of 2023 and the class of 2024. Unfortunately, when UVA was considering a tuition increase and then ultimately freeze, because this had already been approved in 2019, it wasn't a topic of discussion. But I did push for that base increase to be cut for the next year. The one piece of good news is that financial aid, such as Access UVA, expands proportionally to that base increase. So students should not necessarily be paying more if they were already part of Access UVA or had some sort of financial aid package that would reduce the amount that they pay annually, even with that $2,700 increase. But let me find an article to send you, and then I can also put you in touch with the administrators that made that decision in case you would like to, voice your concerns.
I'm keeping on the topic of like the tuition thing going on. As a lot of people probably know, Undoc UVA has started a mutual aid request in funds to try to get undocumented students money for the $400 deposit that's happening. A lot of them cannot afford it. And so I was wondering if there's like, if anyone has any like resources or like people that can hit up so that we can try to get some funds for these students. Like, thank you so much. That'll be very helpful.
Yeah, thank you. So because UVA has committed to waiving that enrollment deposit of $400 for students who can't afford it, including undocumented students. I'm actually not sure what the status of that mutual aid fund is now. Cardo and I literally had the conversation like 90 minutes ago with Steve Farmer. But if that mutual aid fund is staying open for financial support for undocumented students, even once they're at UVA, because of course, the state financial aid for undocumented students doesn't come into effect until the 2022 to 2023 academic year. I think, we would be glad to support some sort of fund that services those students directly. UVA Mutual Aid maintains like a consistent pool of funding for undocumented students, even when, the general fund is not open. And the executive board is happy to, donate to Undoc UVA directly. We've actually discussed doing that already. I'll make sure to get more info on whether or not the mutual aid fund for the enrollment deposit is still active, but I'm sure that funding is now being repurposed to financial support for the academic year, since that deposit can be waived. And then I found, I just sent the upper division tuition increase article. There's a longer one, I think, from UVA Today. I will see if I can find it. But that should give you some info. All right. Oh, I got it. All right, here we go. Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns? Rachel? Go ahead.
Oh wait, okay. So on the note of transit for first years, I've heard that from multiple different people, and like Abel mentioned, I've talked with Ella and we've inquired into some private services. They are rather expensive, and the other concern would be with the scheduling, as Abel mentioned. UVA did run two days, which is very limited, of transit using the UTS buses on April 17th and 18th, which is it was over that weekend only. I don't think it was super well publicized. Dean Groves emailed us with it. Not everyone reads all of their emails, so that's how that goes. So we are looking into other transit opportunities. Ideally, we would use something from within the university, either like UTS or Safe Ride. So if anyone has any connections or thoughts on that, that would be super helpful if you reach out to Ella or I, just because, of course, funding is not limitless. And if we can utilize the resources we already have, that's always the best way to go.
Thank you, Rachel. All right. Any other community concerns around perhaps finals, credit, no credit? Anything else that's coming up over the next week? Avni?
Hi. So a concern that I have is that in some classes, there's homework due the day of finals, and like classes are going on during what's traditionally been reading week, and in general, reading week isn't being respected. And I know from personal experience and those around me and like majors similar to mine and majors completely different to mine, that's just putting a lot of stress and further worsening mental health all around. So yeah.
That's really good to know. Just to make sure I understand you, UVA or some classes at UVA have put deadlines for assignments that are not final exams on the day of final exams, and then other classes are still like actively holding class on reading days.
Right.
Okay. Could you please Slack me, Casey, and Ryan with the name of the courses that you're aware of that happening with, and then we can try to resolve that ASAP. One issue with UVA's, structure is that all functions on the academic side of things are fairly decentralized. So there's no one person who can really course correct besides the provost, and even she has limited oversight over different schools and departments. But we can see if we can figure this out before the end of the week.
Great, thank you.
Emily?
Yeah, mine's kind of a similar concern. Obviously, it's probably too late right now to deal with this, but the fact that we don't have any reading days before the first finals, like for example, I have a test on Wednesday and then 2 finals on that Saturday. So I'm going to be in class the whole week, not going to have a whole lot of time to study for those Saturday exams. And I know at other schools they have like full reading weeks, and I think that puts a lot less pressure on students, and that right now the process is really negatively contributing to mental health. So potentially for the fall 2021 semester, looking into expanding reading days to actually happen before finals rather than during finals week, I think would be really helpful to students.
I totally agree. I'm going to send the link to the proposed calendar for 2021 to 2022. If you want to propose better or new dates, send them again to me, Casey, and Ryan, and then we can start looking at this for next semester. Ryan Alcorn, to be super clear, the chief of cabinet. If anyone has suggestions for nicknames for Ryan Alcorn and Ryan Chesikowski, please also send those my way. All right. I have a number of concerns listed. If you have any others, feel free to Slack, text, or email me. Otherwise, I'll see you for a predictably longer general body meeting next week. And I hope you have a great Tuesday evening.
I now call this meeting adjourned.